So here's my argument and a thought exercise. While the Democrats are down in El Salvador wasting away in Margaritaville, you are losing your due process rights. No, I wasn't bonked on that. Follow the thought process. We have a border. We're a sovereign nation. We have immigration and naturalization laws. We also have laws regarding asylum seeking and refugee status seeking. All of these combined are called process, right? That's the word. In order for a foreign national to cross our border, they must follow due process. If they don't, they've broken the law and due process. Now, what part of the Constitution or law or code allows a foreign national to enter the country illegally and call it home? The answer is not a line of text. Now, there's a lot of doublethink out there. On one side, Speaker in waiting Hakeem Jeffries admits this open border stuff is a loser for Democrats. At the same time, it seems like they think they can win with this down the road.
And I think it's one of the main reasons that we lost the 2024 election was that we let millions of people stream across the border. So what is the Democratic plan to show people that we're serious about this problem?
Well, we definitely have to be clear that we believe that we should have a secure border. That's first and foremost. And I think we've repeatedly endeavored to make that clear throughout this Congress. We were slow to act as an administration and as a party on the southern border crisis. And it hurt us not simply with traditional Republican voters or swing voters, but in some segments of our own base communities and in communities of color, including right here in New York.
Slow to act? You dismantled the border wall. You had 4 years to actually secure the border. Headline Politico, Van Hollen's big moment defending a constituent, really, and defying Trump. The Maryland Democrat is in the national spotlight as he advocates for the return of his wrongly deported constituent. Are these people serious with that? Anyway, Van Hollen has grabbed the national spotlight amid a 2-day trip to El Salvador to meet with Kilmar Abrego Garcia, a Maryland resident. Are they serious? Who was mistakenly deported by the Trump administration on erroneous charges of gang membership. After being initially blocked from entering a maximum security prison by the Salvadorian government, Van Hollen ultimately succeeded in sitting down Thursday with his constituent who had been transferred to another detention facility. The episode has vaulted Van Hollen into a new hero of the so-called resistance, with some progressives now seeing the 66-year-old lawmaker as someone who can provide a roadmap for how to fight President Donald Trump and effectively message about the human consequences of the administration's immigration crackdown. Well, hold. The Department of Homeland Security actually released Jennifer Vasquez's complaint about her husband's domestic abuse. Okay, it's right here, right, in black and white. That should have been enough to deport him, as the police were now aware he was in the country illegally. And it's laughable to watch left-wing front groups like CASA defend him from wearecasa.org. Kilmar's family in Maryland, his wife, their 5-year-old child, and his 2 stepchildren are all U.S. citizens. They're desperate for his safety. Together, they have built a strong, supportive family with bright hopes for the future. At the time Kilmar disappeared, Kilmar was a unionized sheet metal worker actively pursuing career advancement by enrolling in a college to obtain professional license. Meanwhile, the family was also on a waiting list at a children's hospital seeking specialized care for their autistic nonverbal son. His sudden disappearance has left them in anguish, disrupting their plans and jeopardizing their well-being. I'm sorry, he beat the hell out of his wife. She seems deathly afraid to admit that now, but the facts do not change. How is he going to college? How did he join a union if he's in the country illegally? He's in the country illegally. He did not follow the process. And now the Democrats demand further process. For what? If he's returned to the United States, for some reason, he'll just be deported again for not following the process and denying you and me due process to enter our nation. No foreign national has the right to enter our country illegally and call this nation their home. That's my argument.
For full shows, live and on demand, it's Salem News Channel.